light up the world. We light up the world.
Welcome to Fire to Inspire, the podcast. I'm your host, Angel Yasmin. And today's quote is, "This is for all of the women of color and colorful people whose stories, ideas, thoughts are not always considered worthy, valid, and important." Today, we have a very special guest by the name of Aisha Taylor, who is the founder and CEO of Sistahs in Business Expo, celebrating entrepreneur women of color. Let's welcome Aisha to the show. What's up, lady? How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being on tonight. I'm excited to hear your story.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to go ahead and fire away. So you have a huge event coming up soon right here in Atlanta. So tell us what inspired you to have this amazing networking event for women.
Sure. So my name is Aisha Taylor Issah. I'm the founder and CEO of the Sistahs in Business Expo, which is the country's only multi-city small business expo created to celebrate entrepreneurial women of color. This expo really was just a gift that God gave me to share with the world. We launched back in October of 2017 and held our first tour in 2018, where we toured 4 cities on the East Coast, Newark, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Columbia, South Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. We had such an amazing and overwhelming response that we knew we had to do it again. And so this year for 2019, we've returned to the same cities, all to larger venues, longer days, just enhancing the experience. And so we are going to be in Atlanta on this Saturday, September 7th, for our final stop of our 2019 tour. And we are really, really excited about the day. It's going to be an amazing day filled with some dynamic speakers and panelists and over 75 diverse vendors and just a whole lot of networking and love and information and resources.
Awesome. So tell us some of your keynote speakers, like who are they and what can we expect from the panel discussion?
Sure. So our keynote speakers are Dr. Lynn Richardson, who's a celebrity financial coach and wealth expert, and she'll be sharing some tips for how to get your money right so that you can build and grow in your dreams for your business. And then also Cynthia Bailey, who of course most know from The Real Housewives, but who's also an amazing entrepreneur and just a boss sister who is going to be sharing her insights in a fireside chat. That chat's going to be moderated by Jovita Moore, who is a leading news anchor here in Atlanta. And then also we have 2 of our signature panels, which is our Superpower panel, which focuses on local women of color in business who've reached measurable success and just sharing some tips and nuggets on how they got to where they are. And then we also have our Authorpreneur panel. This panel focuses specifically on women of color entrepreneurs who are also authors and how writing can help to grow and expand your brand. And so, we're really, really excited about these experiences and really looking forward to it.
You know, this is amazing. This is going to be a huge day. And it's going to be all day, right? From like 10 o'clock till...
Yeah, from 10 to 7.
Wow. So this is going to be full of speakers, full of authors. People can come in and network with each other. So tell me, let's talk about the women of color, because it's not uncommon for Black women to feel like they have to make others feel comfortable when they're in a group, especially if they're in a group that's made up of people who look nothing like them. I feel women of color, we have to dampen or water down our personality to feel like we could fit into the culture of anybody that is not like us or the same color. So what inspires you to bring Black women together?
Sure. So women of color are the largest and fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs in the country, but at the same time, we are the least earning. And so, we wanted to create a platform that helped women of color not just to start businesses, but to have those businesses grow and excel. And that's really what launched this initiative for us through the Sistahs in Business Expo. Women of color needed a platform that was both affordable and accessible for them to be in a space where they can not just showcase their business, but where they can also gain valuable resources and information and be in a space full and rich of so much networking opportunities and valuable connections and things like that. You can't help but to just soak it all up and excel in your various areas. So it was really important to focus on women of color in business because while we are the largest, we're the least earning, and that's not a position that we want to be in.
That's so interesting. I didn't even know that. Now, why do you think that is?
Well, it's a combination of things, but primarily just the lack of access to resources and capital.
Mm-hmm.
Investments and financial backing, and then just the support of our community, unfortunately, is not what it should be. And so when you put all those things together, it puts us at a disadvantage when it comes to earning power. And so that's why we really thought it was important to create this platform.
Well, I thank you for doing this for the community because we definitely need that. And Atlanta is like the hottest spot to do so. So we're excited to have you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. We're glad to be here.
Of course. Do you often feel like women of color has to dim their light in order to fit in society, in order to make other people feel comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I think people expect us to. Fortunately, I see a shift, and the narrative is changing where women of color are not doing it as much and are really taking their rightful place and, going into spaces even where they may be the minority, but still being bold and confident in who they are and what they bring to the table. Women of color in many rights are the backbone of this country, are the life givers to a nation. And so when you realize just how valuable you are and how rich your heritage is, you don't easily let people kind of knock you off of that pedestal. And this is not about being cocky or arrogant, but it's just about knowing who you are and whose you are. And so the more we do that, the more people will begin to realize that we did not come to play, but that we are here and that what we offer is valuable. And so if you do not give us a seat at the table, we will build our own table. And so I think that's really what's happening for women of color right now.
I love it. I love it that, we have our own sassy personality, and I want people to be bold. I want them to be audacious, and I don't want them to be afraid of being who they are, because I think that's the most beautiful thing. I strongly believe that Black women tend to feel that their organizations weren't ready for them, and they felt like they couldn't be their authentic selves in the office or wherever they are, at the risk of making others feel uncomfortable or hurting their chances of professional advancement. So, I believe strongly in everything that you said, that I want us to start being a little bit more prideful and not so shy in being who we are and who we've been created to be, because that's why it's all about bossing up and going out there, stepping out on faith and starting your own businesses, because hello, it's a land of opportunity out there. I want to know, what are some of the hard lessons have you faced coming up before you started your business, and how did it contribute to a greater success for you?
Sure. So one thing I, definitely had to learn is just that, your vision and your passion is not going to be matched by everyone. Sometimes when you have a great idea or something you're really excited about and you tell other people about it, you expect them to be just as excited. And that's not always going to be the case. It doesn't mean that they don't care or that they're not supportive. It just may mean that it's not their vision. It's not their dream. God gave it to you. That was a hard lesson to learn, because you really kind of feel a little depleted and depleted and deflated when you go to tell someone what you're working on and they're just like, okay, that's nice. And so that was a hard lesson to learn, but a good lesson, because it also teaches you that everyone is not going to work as hard as you, and everyone's not going to be as committed as you. It doesn't mean they won't work hard, and it doesn't mean they won't be committed, but they just won't be as committed as you and work as hard as you. So where I might have some team members who are really dedicated and committed and will work until midnight, I'm going to work until 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Because I need to make sure that everything is done right. That was a tough lesson to learn. And then also just that everyone who starts with you can't stay with you necessarily. And so, there'll be a lot of people who have to get off at different exits along the journey, because for whatever reason, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a part of the process of being an entrepreneur and building a brand and just realizing that sometimes, just like anything else in life, people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so the same is true for our businesses. People come for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And there are some who, their seasons expire, and then you just have to be okay with that. And so those have been some of the lessons, but they've helped me a lot, because they've helped me to shed and to grow and to prune, and then also just to be more prayerful and discerning about who and what we allow to be a part of this vision, because it's not for everyone.
Oh, I heard that. I want to know, who influenced your life the most, and what message did you get from them growing up?
I'd probably have to say my mom, for sure. She's just been the most supportive and encouraging person I know. Even if she doesn't agree necessarily with what I'm working on, or she thinks it's crazy, she still has my back and still encourages me and supports me. And I've seen her do that, in the face of adversity, in the face of difficult times. She never caused, any of her challenges to hinder my dreams. And so I've really appreciated that about her. And she's definitely been the biggest influence, for sure. sure.
Awesome. So what's an accomplishment that you are the most proud of right now in your life?
I think that, it's kind of multidimensional. I'm really proud of the work we're doing with the Sisters in Business Expo. I never imagined that it would become what it has. And, it's definitely been a difficult, road. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it that people, I don't even think, begin to understand. But it's worth it when you hear the testimonies of the participants, when you see the smiling faces, all of that just makes it worth it. And so I feel really proud of the work that we do in pulling these experiences together and creating and building this brand. And then also, I'm also an ordained minister. I work with young people in ministry. I've been doing that for over 15 years. And, seeing them grow and develop and excel in their endeavors in spite of the challenges that they face, and just knowing that I've even played the smallest part in that is really, really encouraging. So those are the things that I'm most proud of.
I love it. You are a key person in the community and keep doing what you're doing. But I also want to know, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep going? Because that can be hard.
Yeah, it's definitely the testimonies and the feedback that we get from the sisters in business who we serve. It helps us to remember our why, why we started in the first place and why we get up every morning and do this all over again. Because it's not about us. It's about them. It's about the community. It's about providing a space that hasn't existed and that was much needed. So that's really what keeps me going, what keeps me motivated to remember that I can't quit. I can't give up, because then there are a whole lot of people who are depending on me to keep going. And so I just keep that in the back of my mind and keep pushing.
Awesome. So what's next for you? After Atlanta, what do you have coming up next?
Sure. So Atlanta is our final stop for the 2019 tour. And we've already actually begun working on the dates and cities for 2020. And so we'll be announcing those over time. And then also we have some other parts of our brand. And one in particular is the Sisters in Business Prayercast, which is where we meet weekly for prayer. It's a live podcast where we pray specifically over our businesses and our families, with women from all over the country who call in to be a part of that. And so it's been a huge blessing. So we're excited about that and continuing to grow that part of our brand. And then also we have the Sisters in Business University, which is our teaching arm, where we provide resources, training, whether it be workshops in person or webinars for business owners who want to gain valuable and practical tools and skills to help them grow and excel their businesses. So, we'll be continuing to roll out that schedule. We've had 3 courses so far, and we'll be continuing to roll out that schedule after we wrap up in Atlanta. So we have a lot on the horizon. It's all good though, and so we're really excited about that.
I'm excited. Sounds so good and so informative. This is good. This is so good. So for the last question, what ignites the fire within you to do what you love today? Leave us with some encouraging words.
Yeah, I think about how great God has been to me and all the gifts he's given me and all the wonderful people that he's placed in my life. And it's just a reminder to me that all of those things were given so that I could then pass them on to someone else. And so I take joy and pride in being able to help in any way that I can, whether it just be a word of encouragement or, pulling together a huge expo or saying a prayer for someone. There's always something that we can do to be a help to somebody else. I see people, on the streets who are homeless or hurting or mentally ill, and those things they break my heart, but they also just ignite a fire in me that I need to do more. As long as those things continue to exist, then there's still more for us to do. So that's really what keeps me going. I think that as long as we all do our part, then this world will be a better place. If we just all did our part, if we just all did what we can. There'll be some who can do more than others, but we can all do something. Entrepreneurship and wealth building and all those things put us in a better position to be a help to others. And so that's what really just keeps me going.
I have chills all over my body. I just love that you've answered God's call. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being a key influencer in the community and coming to Atlanta. And then not only are you there, you're spreading your wings in other cities and other places and hopefully other countries, I really think this is needed in our community big time, because I do want us to keep climbing those stairs of success. I mean, we are beautiful, bright people, and I don't want people to dim our light. I want us to keep striving for our very best potential. So people like you will make it so much easier, because you're being the light and you're leading us towards what's right for us and guiding us in the right direction. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please tell the audience how they can find you online or on social media.
Absolutely. So our pages on Instagram and Twitter are SIB Expo, which stands for Sisters in Business Expo. And on Facebook, we are Sisters in Business Expo, and that's spelled SISTAHS. So sistersinbusinessexpo.com, and on Instagram and Twitter, SIB Expo. And you'll get all the information on the expo as well as all of our other things we're working on our website.
Awesome. Well,
You can also get tickets.
Yes, get those tickets,
Yes.
guys. Get them in advance.
They're just $15 in advance and $20 at the door. And we always tell everybody, save those extra dollars to support our vendors. Yeah, you can get tickets online right now.
Awesome sauce. I'm excited. I cannot wait to go. So look, thanks everyone for joining this party with a purpose. I'll catch you next week. All right, it's getting real hot up in here because we are startup.
When they strike, we light